pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
It is caught for a touchdown by Holmes.
He's in. Patriots win the Super Bowl. Brady has his 5th.
We all know this century's Lombardi winners, but what about the teams that came up just short? Some squads picked themselves up off the mat, while others never recovered. Today, we answer the question, what happened to every Super Bowl loser since 2000?
And he's got Stokely, and he's in for a touchdown. His 4th interception to Dwayne Starks.
Yeah, baby!
For the most dominant performance, the Baltimore Ravens win the Super Bowl and the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
After a resounding defeat in Super Bowl 35, the Giants looked to pick up the pieces in 2001. Defensive Player of the Year Michael Strahan did his part, forcing a league-high 6 fumbles and totaling a record 22.5 sacks.
1st and 10 at the 42.
Strahan gets the sack! Michael Strahan gets the sack. He gets the record.
But the rest of the defense couldn't keep pace, dropping from the 5th-ranked scoring defense in 2000 to 16th the next year. The offense wasn't much better as Kerry Collins struggled to protect the football, and All-Pro running back Tiki Barber started just 9 games due to injury. The team would finish just 7-9 and miss the postseason.
This would be from 48 yards out, and it's right down the pipe. And the Patriots have won Super Bowl 36. Unbelievable.
The Rams reached their 2nd Super Bowl in 3 years, but became the first of many to fall at the feet of Tom Brady and company. The greatest show on turf tried to rebound in 2002, but a miserable 0-5 start crushed any hope of redemption.
2nd down and 16. Strahan coming off the corner. That pass is tipped and picked off by Sehorn. Jason Sehorn. Touchdown.
Reigning MVP Kurt Warner was a shell of himself, throwing 8 picks before breaking his hand in Week 4. Marshall Faulk, fresh off 3 straight Offensive Player of the Year nods, started just 10 games. The show was over in St. Louis as the Rams finished 7-9.
3rd and 18, and this is going to write a finish. Derek Brooks, who ran back 3 interceptions for touchdowns in the regular season, does it to cement the Super Bowl.
The Raiders couldn't catch a break at the turn of the century. Oakland was crushed in Super Bowl 37 just a year after the Tuck rule dashed their Lombardi dreams. In 2003, the wheels came off as the Silver and Black finished 4-12. That snapped a streak of 3 straight playoff appearances. Reigning MVP Rich Gannon was injured midway through the year, and Jerry Rice would leave Oakland after the worst 16-game output of his career. The team committed the most penalty yards in the NFL and wouldn't post another winning record until 2016.
Patriots looking for a 2nd Super Bowl title in 3 years from 41 yards. Looks good.
Yet another victim of Adam Vinatieri's legendary leg, the Panthers entered 2004 in defense of their NFC crown. The injury bug would bite early, knocking out the killer Steves, Steve Smith and running back Steven Davis. Still, Jake Delhomme bounced back with his most productive season, throwing for nearly 3,900 yards and 29 scores. Meanwhile, Julius Peppers and receiver Muhsin Muhammad were all-pro selections. Despite starting the year 1-7, Carolina won 6 of its final 8 contests, finishing 7-9 and narrowly missing the playoffs.
They're going to throw 2 Hail Marys. Down the middle of the field, and the pass is picked off by Harrison. And the New England Patriots will be the first dynasty of the 21st century.
Philadelphia became the 3rd team in 4 years to narrowly drop a Super Bowl to the Pats. The brotherly love was all but exhausted the following season. Locker room turmoil and an avalanche of injuries derailed the Eagles. Donovan McNabb played just 9 games, while 6 other starters missed significant time. Meanwhile, Terrell Owens was suspended and eventually deactivated after a media saga soured his relationship with the team. Philly went 0-6 against division opponents after sweeping them the year before, the first team in history to accomplish that unfortunate feat. Losing 8 of their final 10 tilts, they would end up dead last in the NFC East, finishing 6-10.
Little toss. Here comes a gadget play. Randall L. He can throw. He was a quarterback in college. and he's thrown a touchdown to Heinz Ward in the Super Bowl.
Bill Cowher, a great coach. Now he's going to hoist the Lombardi Trophy.
Seattle's first ever Super Bowl appearance didn't have a fairy tale ending, but the Seahawks rebounded from a Lombardi loss with a respectable 9-7 campaign. Despite playing on a broken foot, reigning MVP Shaun Alexander would follow up his record season with 900 yards and 7 scores in just 10 games. Matt Hasselbeck also failed to produce at 2005 levels, but the team endured as linebackers Lofa Tutupu and Julian Peterson put up Pro Bowl numbers. Seattle would eke out a wildcard win on one of history's most famous botched snaps before losing to the eventual NFC champion Bears in overtime.
Grossman. Look out here, he's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Hayden. And Hayden still running inside the 20, and Hayden may run it back all the way. He does!
In 2006, Chicago reached a Super Bowl in the quintessential Bears way, riding a solid run game and dominant defense to an NFC title. But that same formula didn't deliver the following year. In hopes of kickstarting the offense, phenom Devin Hester was converted to receiver in 2007. It didn't work, but Hester remained lethal as a return man at least.
Listen to the anticipation of this crowd. Hester at the 40, and Hester is going to go all the way. No flags are down. Devin Hester.
Still, the team couldn't find their footing after losing several key pieces. The once dominant defense led by Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher was just average, and starting quarterback Rex Grossman was benched after 4 disastrous starts. Chicago finished 7-9 and missed the postseason for the first time in 3 years.
Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet, airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree.
Tyree went up and somehow was able to make the catch.
Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York. The Giants have won the Super Bowl.
The 2008 calendar year was rough, at least for New England standards. Recovering from one of football's biggest letdowns, the Patriots wouldn't get far before disaster struck.
Tom Brady took a tremendous hit as he released that ball, and Patriot Nation right now is holding its collective breath.
Just 7 minutes into their redemption arc, the Pats lost Brady for the year. Enter Matt Castle.
That's the way it's going to be, Castle. Then we're riding your shoulders.
He hadn't started a game since high school, but the fourth-year backup answered the call, throwing for nearly 3,700 yards and 21 scores as the Pats finished at 11-5. But get this, New England still didn't make the playoffs. Amazingly, New England lost tiebreakers to both the Dolphins and Ravens, making them the first and only 11-win team not to qualify in a 12-team playoff format.
Roethlisberger, pass time, throws to the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Holmes. And the Pittsburgh Steelers become the first franchise in history to win 6 Super Bowls.
After going blow for blow with Pittsburgh in Super Bowl 43, the Cardinals looked the part of a seasoned squad in 2009. Arizona is the first team on this list to improve their win total after losing the Super Bowl. The Cards topped the NFC West with a 10-6 record. The resurgence continued for 38-year-old Kurt Warner, playing in his final NFL season. During the wild card round, he dropped 5 touchdowns on the Packers, but it was the defense that sealed the deal.
Extra man on the blitz. Rodgers gets a hand to the face. The ball is out. The Arizona Cardinals win it.
This instant classic, a 51-45 final, remains the highest scoring playoff game in NFL history. A week later, a Bayou beatdown would end the Cardinals' season as the Saints marched to a Super Bowl title.
Picked off. Look out. Gets past Manning, and it's Tracy Porter taking it all the way. Touchdown, New Orleans.
2010 marked the end of an era in Indy. After back-to-back MVP seasons, Peyton Manning was limited by a neck injury that would end his Colts tenure and almost his career. but Manning was still superb, posting 4,700 yards and 33 touchdowns. Indy earned their 9th consecutive playoff bid, tying them with the Cowboys for what was then an all-time record. But the Colts didn't have enough in the tank, falling in the final seconds to the 6th-seeded Jets.
To win the game and send the Jets to Foxborough. Good. Nick Folk.
On the bright side, Reggie Wayne garnered his first All-Pro selection, while defensive ends Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis each delivered Pro Bowl campaigns.
Back. A lot of contact. This ball is incomplete. The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The 2010 Steelers let their Lombardi slip away, but the vaunted defense returned in full force the following season. It allowed the fewest yards and fewest points for the 2nd consecutive year as Pittsburgh finished 12-4. But the luck of the draw rendered them a wild card behind the division-winning Ravens. While the Steelers were heavy favorites in Denver, Tim Tebow had other plans. On the first snap in overtime, he sent Pittsburgh packing.
And here we go. First snap of the overtime. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Skipper got him free to the 30, to the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on the New England. They win it on the first play of overtime.
It was a disappointing end to a season that saw Troy Polamalu deliver another All-Pro effort and Antonio Brown earn his first career Pro Bowl nod.
From the 49, Brady. Barring a defensive foul, the game ends here to the end zone. Tipped and batted, Gronkowski can't get it, and the New York Giants are the Super Bowl champs in February.
After another unfathomable loss to the Cinderella Giants, the Patriots went back to work in 2012. Despite losing Randy Moss, New England's offense was elite, scoring 34.8 points per game, good for 8th best all time. Brady threw for over 4,800 yards, Wes Welker tallied 118 catches, and Rob Gronkowski caught 11 touchdowns. All 3 were Pro Bowlers as the Patriots secured a 12-4 mark. They also added a slew of young defensive talent like Chandler Jones and linebacker Dante Hightower. Nonetheless, New England would meet its match in the AFC Championship, falling to the eventual champion Ravens.
1:50 to play and 4th and goal. Anthony lost it in the air. No flag, incomplete. The Super Bowl belongs to Baltimore.
In 2012, the 49ers were just 5 yards short of a Lombardi trophy. The following year, they picked up right where they left off, smothering opponents while leaning on a balanced offensive attack. Colin Kaepernick had a career year, combining for over 3,700 total yards and 25 scores. The newly acquired Anquan Boldin racked up more than 1,000 yards alongside Pro Bowlers Vernon Davis and Frank Gore. But the real story was the defense, who surrendered the 3rd fewest points and boasted 5 Pro Bowlers, including All-Pro Navarro Bowman. San Francisco finished the season 12-4 before running into the new kings of the NFC.
With a chance to take the lead. Kaepernick, end zone, Crabtree, broken up, picked off! This game is over!
A clutch INT lifted the upstart Seahawks past San Fran in the NFC Championship. This dramatic win punctuated a budding rivalry between these two division foes.
Manning is in the shotgun from his own 14-yard line. Moving left to right. Oh, they snapped the ball. Manning was going to say something. The ball bounces into the end zone. It bounces out of the end zone, and they rule a safety. Manning was going to say something to his line when the ball went whistling by his right ear.
They say defense wins championships, and that proved true in Super Bowl 48. Seattle's league best D crushed Denver's top-ranked offense from start to finish. But the Broncos rebounded, going 12-4, earning their 4th straight division title. Peyton Manning, fresh off an all-time passing season, amassed 4,700 yards and 39 touchdowns. They lost future Hall of Famer Champ Bailey, but acquired DeMarcus Ware. In all, 11 Broncos would go on to make the Pro Bowl in 2014. Still, there was no mile-high magic this season, as Denver was bounced early by Peyton's former squad.
2nd and goal. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal.
And I'm sorry, but I can't believe the call.
Perhaps one play call away from back-to-back Lombardis, Seattle came out flat in 2015, but they shook off a 2-4 start and went back to Seahawks football. The Legion of Boom surrendered the league's fewest points for the 4th straight year, the only team to accomplish that feat in the Super Bowl era. The Seahawks featured 5 Pro Bowlers on defense as Michael Bennett and Bobby Wagner shined alongside the league's best secondary. On offense, Russell Wilson posted a league-best passer rating, while rookie Tyler Lockett garnered All-Pro honors as a returner. Pete Carroll's squad went 6-1 down the stretch to secure a wild card spot. Like 2006, Seattle survived on a field goal disaster before folding to MVP Cam Newton in Carolina.
And the Panthers have a 3rd and 10. Here comes pressure, and they've gotten to him. The ball is out in the end zone, and it's recovered by Malik Jackson for the touchdown. It was Vaughn Miller with the strip sack, and Jackson with the recovery.
Newton was no match for the Broncos in Super Bowl 50 as the Panthers had their title chances wrestled away. The team struggled the following year, starting the season with a putrid 1-5 record. Carolina's once solid pass defense had lost 3 starters, including All-Pro Josh Norman, during the offseason. Meanwhile, their scoring offense dropped from league best to league average in 2016. Cam completed just 53% of his passes and totaled 20 fewer touchdowns than the year before. The Panthers became the first Super Bowl runner-up since the 2008 Patriots to miss the postseason.
Now 2nd and goal. Toss to White. He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! What a comeback!
It's hard to imagine any team riding the ship after such a shocking collapse, but the Falcons put up a respectable effort in 2017, finishing 10-6. Like Carolina, the previous year's top-ranked scoring offense dropped to 15th, but their defense improved behind Pro Bowlers Deion Jones and Keanu Neal. Matt Ryan was a far cry from his 2016 self, but still delivered a 7th straight 4,000-yard, 20-touchdown season. Atlanta won a road wildcard game before falling to Nick Foles and the eventual Super Bowl champs.
From the 12, 3rd down and 7.
1-on-1.
Clement flares out to the right, caught over the middle and into the end zone. Zach Ertz for the touchdown. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, the long drought is over.
If any team could go the distance after a Super Bowl loss, it was the Patriots. Indeed, Brady and Belichick made short work of the 2018 season. They finished 11-5, earning a 10th straight playoff berth and 8th straight AFC Championship appearance, both NFL records. Stephon Gilmore was an All-Pro as both the offense and defense ranked among the top 10 in scoring. New England dropped 41 points against the Chargers in the division round, then they outscored phenom Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs on the road in the AFC Championship. In Super Bowl 53, they tightened their belts, holding the Rams to a single field goal. Julian Edelman earned MVP honors, catching 10 passes for 141 yards before Gilmore secured the win.
From the 27 to the end zone, and it's intercepted at the 3-yard line. Gilmore jumps up and grabs it. And there it is. The dynasty continues.
New England became the first team since the 1972 Dolphins to win the Super Bowl after losing in a Super Bowl the year before. The following season, Sean McVay and company couldn't quite recover from that loss. With All-Pro Todd Gurley battling a knee injury, the offense regressed. Jared Goff threw a league-high 626 passes, but totaled just 22 touchdowns to 16 interceptions. It was a breakout year for third-year wide receiver Cooper Kupp, though, who amassed nearly 1,200 yards and 10 scores. On D, Aaron Donald secured his 5th straight All-Pro, while the team acquired superstar Jalen Ramsey mid-season. But Los Angeles faltered down the stretch, finishing 9-7 and missing the postseason.
Obviously now 2nd and 6. Williams makes a cut and will roll into the end zone for the touchdown. No flags. They have done it. Chiefs are Super Bowl champions here in Miami.
And after losing a 10-point fourth-quarter lead in Super Bowl 54, San Francisco began the unprecedented 2020 season looking for redemption. Instead, they got injuries. Lots of injuries. Reigning Defensive Rookie of the Year Nick Bosa was lost in Week 2. Jimmy Garoppolo played just 3 full games before getting shelved in Week 9. Their second-ranked offense and 8th-ranked defense both fell below league average. To make matters worse, the Niners were forced to play 3 home games in Arizona due to COVID-19, losing all 3. In all, the Niners placed a league-high 18 players on injured reserve and finished the season 6-10.
Fournette! Touchdown! Tampa Bay!
An emphatic 31-9 loss at the hands of Tampa Bay derailed the Chiefs' repeat bid in 2020. KC completely revamped their O-line in 2021, but even that wasn't enough to overcome a Super Bowl hangover. The Chiefs started 3-4 thanks in large part to turnovers and defensive breakdowns. Kansas City gave the ball away 17 times and allowed 29 points per game in their first 7 games. But Andy Reid's squad righted the ship from there, going 9-1 the rest of the season. The 12-5 Chiefs earned the number 2 seed going into the playoffs, and making quick work of Pittsburgh, they went toe-to-toe with Josh Allen and the Bills in an overtime thriller. What followed was a total meltdown in the AFC title game. Mahomes and company failed to hold on to a 21-3 lead against the Bengals, falling 24-21 in overtime.